Hello traders, John at StockBookie.com. Today we're looking at the SPY, the IWM, the Qs, the DIA, the IYT, the USO, the UUP, and the GLD. We follow the daily, weekly, monthly time frames. We use technical analysis here at StockBookie.com. So let's go right into the 10-minute SPY today. 132 million on the day. We were only 37 cents down, but man, some really good intraday action here. Boom, came right in. Good sell candle here. Unfortunately, we were waiting a little bit lower. Gap window, gap fill, just didn't make it there. Popped it right back up. Going for the MAs again. Closed above the 20, but didn't get it above these. Still a pretty good showing right back up. Pretty good volume at the end of the day, but 132 million, so I'm impressed with that. Let's go to the daily. Nothing wrong still. We got a lot of lines in there. Those are the gap fills, the double bottom, stuff like that. But if you can see that, we're just going sideways, chopping around above the 20 and the 50 and the 200. Everything is fine, guys. That was great action, though, today, I do have to say. But the weekly chart, though, we did not close above the last candle like we did last time with some nice follow-through. Still like to see more volume. See how we picked up a little bit? I want to see a big volume candle like this, and I want to see a push, close above all this crap, above the 245, and shoot up to the 250. That's what I'm looking for on the weekly chart of this SPY. So more volume, just more volume, guys. That's all we're looking for. Let's go back to the daily. Again, chopping around above the MAs, nothing is wrong. So let's keep an eye on this pattern. Do we go for another week sideways? If we do, that's setting up bullish, guys. I mean, overall, these patterns are bullish if you go back, but I still think they're all going back to the November lows, guys. So mark my words, watch for these areas. Big gap fills, gaps up, doesn't stop. So I still think we're coming right down here, and that's 208, guys. So write that one on your calendar. IWM, 73 cents up. Couldn't get past this double top though, guys. Got through. This is the daily, so got through, came right back in, closed below. Nice little doji on the day. What does that mean these days? Who knows? This one has to keep leading. If this one comes right back in, then we'll see what's going on with the rest of the market. If the Qs start going in and everything else, this one should follow. So, but again, this one is trying not to be the lagger again and be the leader, but you know what? It's been lagging like last time. Remember here. It lagged, and then it came in, and then finally it popped, and it lagged, popped, and then it just sat. Well, it sat and did this and just kind of lagged. Everything else was going up. So everything else hit highs, pulled back. This one kind of made a high today and actually stayed up green. So 56 million though, guys. So that was pretty big on the IWM. Let's get to the weekly. Weekly chart did not close above the all-time highs. Volume still sucked. And now we're looking for, let's look for another push. Let's see if we can get above these highs and continue up. 144 to 150. Downside, you're still looking at the 133 area, possibly 130. So you're right in the middle of the range right now. It could go either way. So just keep an eye on this. Let's watch volume and see what happens next week. Remember, Options X next week, and I think the Fed meeting or whatever crap they pull every Options X, basically. The Qs, what a day, guys. Came right back up. Nice little follow through here. Not a lot of volume. We talked about that. Not enough volume, and boom, came right back in. Kind of like the other day when we had some selling back in here. This one was a pretty good knockdown, though. So let's see if it just goes sideways. Still above the MA. Still nothing wrong. This is the weekly chart, remember. Still nothing wrong, guys, but a great weekly follow through to the downside. Now we're looking to close around 136.75 or below. And then we have, of course, some trend lines to contend with, some support here, but that's what we're looking for overall. That's the weekly, though. Let's go right to the daily. Daily, though, look at that. Right back through the 20 MA, kind of like this, a little bit worse. Volume, though, 109 million, guys. Pretty good volume today. I mean, even on that sell day, we had 60 million, so it was almost double. So there was some institutional selling here, maybe a hedge fund or something. Somebody wanted out. Maybe they rotate back into the Dow, which I noticed, maybe the small caps. But where are you going to run and hide in these markets when everything's at the highs? And then you're rotating into financials. Financials got beat down, so you could probably take positions in those. But at the end of the day, if everything pulls back, they're all going down. So you're better off going to the short side or rotating it into cash and then waiting for the pullback and trying that instead of sitting there. I guess you could get the dividend plays and stuff like that. But anyways, what a day this was on here. Pulled back nice. Let's go to the 10-minute on this one. Just, I mean, it started up too. It was like do, and then all of a sudden it was like sell program. And then it caught bottom here. What was down there? Was there a gap fill? There had to be something. Gap window right there. Look at that. Gap window, then gap fill. So that would have been my area. Gosh, look at that. Almost to the penny, the gap fill or gap window. I bet it missed. I would have been waiting for the 138 even number, maybe a little bit lower. Maybe to, you know, dip my toe. But gosh, what a bounce. But they were bringing this one down. Those are hard to catch. That's a falling knife, guys. You get one click over, and I take, you know, one more time, just for the fun of it. So, but again, 109, almost 110 million on the Qs. Good sell day. Still held some support. There's your gap fill right down in here, and there's your gap window. Yeah, so it hit by the penny maybe. Let's go to the weekly one more time. Again, pull back, still above the MAs, nothing wrong. Let's go to the daily real quick. We'll have to see. Does it bounce right back up and we go straight back up? I wouldn't rule it out. It's what's kind of what it's been doing. Look at that. Sell, do, goes right up. Sell, do, goes right up. Sell, do we click over? Go right up. You know, we'll see. Keep an eye on that because people are so conditioned to buy the dip these days. That's what they're going to be looking to do. I would wait for lower prices for me. That's why if it goes up, it's going to go up without me, and I'll add more short at the top and do some more short-term trading. But the Qs, guys, what can you say? There was a good tech sell, and that's where we're at. Let's go to the DIA. DIA, that was another strong one today, 81 cents, 0.38%, and 4 million on the day, which was really good volume for the DIA. We did get above the all-time highs again, but we didn't close above this candle. Well, geez, right? We're like right on top of it. So let's see if we get some more follow-through with some more volume. We had good volume, but I think it's all coming out of tech and everything and possibly going into these. So this will be just a matter of time, too. If everything rolls over, this will come down with it. But on the daily, we're above the MAs, still strong stance, still bullish pattern. What can you say, guys? I mean, you come into like the Qs like, hey, everything was okay there, and then boom, it's like, whoa, what the hell just happened to the Qs? So again, close above here. It looks like we did get above the, yeah, we got above last week's high, so it's slowly grinding. Light volume, though. I want to see a good push on volume. I want to see, you know, then you're looking at 215 like we've been talking about. 215, 220, 225, and then you have an upper trend line here. I don't have it in this chart, but somewhere up in the 226 area that we'll be looking for if it continues higher. So watch for that and watch for more volume on these charts. The IYT, guys. The IYT, same thing. This one, like the IWM, was lagging, but this one's setting up in a bullish manner. So let's give it more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, almost 6 days. We had a little topping tail here, nothing crazy. Volume kind of dried up still. We only had the 386,000 on the day. So, gosh, you know, it's just kind of chopping around. We had a nice push up. They had to save the day. Now it's chopping. Does it start to lead or does it start to lag? So let's see what this pattern brings. This is telling me more upside, but it still has to get above this 750, this big trend line here with the gap fill around 170, and it's got to get above that trend line too. So there's two trend lines, even number, 750. That's a pretty decent area for something to go up. Needs volume to go up, guys, not this jicky jack crap like we've been getting. So again, though, nice up, comes back in. Now does it come back down? Again, it's a 50-50 shot. Upside 176 to 180. Downside, you're looking at probably 156. If it really gets going, here's your November lows right around 142. So it's going to get interesting, guys, in the next couple weeks, maybe a couple months. So keep an eye on these markets, or at least one eye. Let's get to the USO. So the USO, guys, you know, it's interesting. It comes down, goes right to double bottom, and here we are making a pattern. It did close below this candle, so let's see if that's a little bit weakish or weaker. Do we get another retrace back into this area? You know, more short-term retrace, maybe back into the 50 MA, 20 MA. I mean, we can actually go down here. I would love for it to come up in here to 240. I don't know if it's going to make it there because this big breakdown bar, and you got that big breakdown bar with some volume. So you're going to have some, you know, let's see how it goes up if it does. If it doesn't, let's see if it just kind of goes on a little retrace and starts to roll over. I still think we're going to 920 area, $9. Then around the 8, and then around the double bottom of 766 in that area. But right now, guys, doing nothing, consolidation. Below the MAs, weak stance. Let's see what we get next week. You know, 5 more days on the charts. We'll see what we get. On the weekly close, though, weekly close on the USO. we're right there. We didn't pierce through it, so we're right there. And then also a bigger fib, we're holding the 618 retrace, so that's another big area too. So again, though, I think we're going to get to the 9 once we get there. Then we'll redetermine this USO trade. If it goes back up, then we'll be looking to add up around in here. So we'll see. Maybe $10, maybe. I mean, that's what it seems doing. Up and a little bit lower, a little bit lower. Does it go just a little bit lower and then roll over and come back in? We'll have to take a look at that next week, and let's see what pattern it plays out on the daily chart. Volume was a little bit better today, but it is the USO. So UUP. UUP, again, this is the weekly, down, sideways, chopping around, setting up for the $24 area, period. That's the weekly. That's what we've been saying for a while. Down, sideways, up, down, sideways, up. Let's see if we retrace, and then maybe the next leg down. I don't have it in here, but you do have a big trend line. I believe it comes from this area. Let's do it. I think I have it from this one. Oops. I think I have it from this guy here. There might be one other one. So, but you know, that's a pretty good trend line. If it got back up into there, you got to get through it. Through all the resistance of the moving averages. So I think there's more of a short term, but you got gap fill, stuff like that. So let's see. Right now it's bearish. You got above the 20. You're still below the 50 and the 200. Let's see if this goes sideways, chops around. Remember this, pop up, and it came right back in. We get the pop up, a little chop chop, and then the next leg down. I'm still looking for the $24 area to go long on the UUP. The GLD now. The GLD came back. God, what a pullback though. I wish I would have bought puts on this or did something, but came right back in. Still in this area of support. We get back down below these MAs here. We might fill this gap and come back in the double bottom here at the trend line, and maybe even come test the 115 area again. We'll see. If it does break this area, that could possibly trigger a little more downside into gold. But as long as we stay above the MAs, stuff like that, we should be okay. Let's wait for the next pattern. Do we just chop, chop, chop? Or who knows? Maybe we gap up on Monday and can start ripping again. But we did retest that double top. That's one of the reasons why we're pulling back on the GLD. Let's go to the weekly. Weekly, same thing, chopping around, and you know, we got that good upside, just couldn't make it above, came right back in. We're above the MAs on the weekly too. Pretty good position to be in. Let's see if we go sideways, waiting for the next setup, or do we retrace back and come kiss this trend line again? It's going to be interesting next week what this thing does. That's what we'll be looking for to the downside. This is what we'll be looking for on the upside. You know, maybe 127.87, and then double top up in here around 131. We're not too far away. And of course, the 125 area. Got a gap fill right around 125.67. So in the 750. So that's going to be a big area too. If we get up there, I'll sell half of the half, and then hopefully quarter position up to 130 or 131. So that's the GLD trade. Let's go into the Jnug real quick. Jnug pulled back 98 cents. Not a great showing today. We talked about if you bought down here, you got $4 profit. You're probably taking it. It's pulling back from a little profit taking and coming to gap fill and double top around this area. So that's why we're pulling back. But let's get into the Gdxj. That's the one that's determining where the Jnug's going. Still above the 20, still looking okay. I don't like the fact that we just shot up into this area. Good area though for resistance, so that's one of the reasons we're pulling back. But hopefully it doesn't keep going here. Let's see if we just get a slight pullback and then the next leg up. See if the 20 holds up, or do we gap below it and keep going and fill this gap, fill that gap down in here, and you still have a gap down here in double bottom. So I still, you know, I don't know if this is going to happen. I still hope we get down in this area here. Gap fill and double bottom. That's where I'll be buying the Jnug or even the GDX on this one, just as another trade, guys. So I'll still be, if I'm still in the gold trade, great. If I'm still in this one or looking to buy this one, I'll probably do one of these. You get, you know, smaller position, but it goes up quicker, goes down quicker too. But if it get a 5-10% move up, I'll be done. Thank you, and see you the next time. So watch the Gdxj. Volume was okay on the daily, nothing special, just a little pullback on the gold pullback. That's all it was. All right, guys, going into next week, we're going into Options X, a real shark week, so be careful with that. And watch the volume, and watch, of course, Grandma's thing on Wednesday, I believe it is. See if she raises rates or what have you. Maybe that's why they sold off today. So, guys, I appreciate you watching my videos. God bless. See you on the charts.